Hello, tropical fish keepers. Welcome to another species profile here on Aqua Alex Live. I'm your host, South American fish keeper and monster fish hobbyist, Aqua Alex Cardinale. I am really excited for tonight's broadcast because I'm going to be talking about one of my personal favorite fish of all time. I have been in the aquarium hobby for about 16 years, and over those 16 years, I have had a passion for Myleus Silver Dollars. And about 10 years ago, I first came across this species of Myleus Silver Dollar, and it's the species we're going to talk about today. I remember it was around 2010 that I found out about this particular species of black bar silver dollars. Now, earlier in my fish keeping career, there was only one species of black bar silver dollars that I knew about, and that was the thin bar silver dollar. It was the black bar silver dollar that had a red hook and a very small, thin bar. But in 2010, I came across a beautiful Myleus black bar silver dollar that had a emperor blue hook, an orange cheek, and a wide black bar. And that silver dollar became known as the wide bar silver dollar. And to my knowledge, it became popular in the aquarium hobby circa 2010. And ever since then, it has been regularly imported in the aquarium hobby, and it is one of the most popular Myleus black bar silver dollar species. So I've kept numerous wide bar silver dollars, and I have known a lot about them, and I can't wait to share what I know about this gorgeous, gorgeous silver dollar. To me, it looks like a red belly pacu and a manueli piranha, especially the males when they get those deep orange chests. And I think they're better than the red belly pacu and the manueli piranha because they can be kept with other fish. And while they are the largest Myleus species, they are still a manageable fish to keep in large aquariums. So today I'm going to be talking about the wide bar silver dollar, also known as the emperor blue hook. I'm going to share some interesting did you know facts on this fish, as well as tell you how to keep and care for this gorgeous silver dollar, pacu, etc. So we're going to start today's video with some photos of past and current wide bar silver dollars that I have. And I'm also going to show you a video of the four wide bars that I have currently. So let's get started. Do you have any questions about the wide bar silver dollars? Post them in the comments and I will answer your questions. What do you like about the wide bar silver dollars? Let me know in the comments. All right. So let's start this species profile with photos and videos of my past and current wide bar silver dollars. And we're going to start with pictures and videos of the wide bar silver dollars that I currently keep right now. They are in my 6-foot aquarium and they're having a great life. So this first picture is of my largest wide bar silver dollar at the moment. As you can see, he's starting to get that orange cheek. And next to my green severum is another of my wide bar silver dollar. Very, very gorgeous fish. And then this is another picture of 2 of my 4 wide bar silver dollars. You can see the intense orange on my wide bars already. The male wide bar silver dollars develop gorgeous orange stomachs, and the color is only going to intensify as they mature. Pretty awesome looking, if you ask me. All right, so now I look forward to showing off a video of my 4 wide bars. Now, I just took the video today in my 125-gallon aquarium, and my 125 is going through a cycle since it's all new water and it was a lot of bio load to add to the tank. So the water looks a little bit hazy, but you should still be able to see the wide bars. So here we go. Here's a video of my wide bars to get us started. Here is a video of my 4 wide bar silver dollars. Sorry, the video is not going to be the best. As you can see, my aquarium is currently cycling, so it's a little bit hazy, but I think you should be able to see my wide bar silver dollars. There are 4 of them, and they're all males, so they all have the orange coloration beginning to form on their faces, and they're loving the space they have in their 125-gallon aquarium. You would not be able to see them if they're in the 75. So to start this video, here's a video of my wide bar silver dollars. And again, I've got 4 of them, and they're all males and they're gorgeous. So I'm going to let you enjoy the video now. Here is one of my most colorful wide bar silver dollars. Now this is the video that I was wanting to show you. This is a male wide bar Schomburgkii, one of my 4. I think this guy is my favorite. Look how beautiful he is. And again, I apologize for the water looking so hazy. It's going through a cycle because this is quite a heavy bio load to put in here. But I've got this Fluval FX4 that I'm going to set up. And when I set it up, I'm going to do a water change as well. But here are my wide bar silver dollars. Alright, so let's learn about the wide bar silver dollar now. I'm going to educate you on the wide bar silver dollar. All right, so those were my or those are my wide bar silver dollars that are currently in my 125-gallon aquarium. Earlier today, I uploaded a video on my YouTube channel that shows a much clearer video with clearer water, and you'll be able to see my wide bar silver dollars in that video much clearer. Just go to my YouTube channel, the legendary Alex Cardinale, and you'll see that upload. So I just showed you the current wide bars that I have, and I have 4 of them. But I want to show you some of the previous wide bars that I grew out before we get on to the information on these beautiful fish. So this is a pair of wide bars that I got in 2012 at about 4 inches, and I grew them to about 9 inches until I lost them in a winter storm in New England and Massachusetts. And I'm glad I no longer live in Massachusetts. It's freezing cold, and I hate losing power in the winter time and the snowstorms because I lost so many fish back then, and it was a pain in the ass to deal with. But these were very beautiful. It didn't have that much orange, but beautiful nonetheless. And this one is my favorite wide bar that I raised. This is the first time that I found out about wide bars, and the first time that I actually got hooked into wide bars. I got my first wide bar from Jeff Rapps at tangledupincichlids.com. And I grew him out from 3 inches all the way to 11 inches until he passed away, I believe, in another winter snowstorm. I think it was like the October of 2012 or February of 2012, something like that. But very, very gorgeous wide bar silver dollars. So those are my current and past wide bar silver dollars. And a little bit later on in the video, we're going to see some more wide bar silver dollars from other fish keepers. Let's get into some interesting facts on the black bar wide bar silver dollar. Did you know there are 3 different species, variants of the black bar silver dollar? All of them share the same scientific name, which is Myleus Schomburgkii. There is the thin bar silver dollar, the wide bar silver dollar, and then there's a man-made blackberry silver dollar, which basically is a thin bar silver dollar that has a wider bar and a red hook. I'm going to show you a picture of the 3 most, or actually the 4 most common Myleus in the aquarium hobby, but 3 of them are of the Myleus Schomburgkii family. So the first picture you see, the first black bar is actually the thin bar silver dollar that I'm talking about. It looks more like a Mentinus. It has a very thin bar and a red hook. Underneath that is the wide bar silver dollar and the fish that I am talking to you about tonight. As you can see, the emperor blue hook, the very thick black bar, and the orange face. The thin bar black bars don't get any orange or red coloration. Next to the wide bar is that man-made hybrid of the blackberry, and that one has an elongated red hook, and you can see like the black blotch on it. Nonetheless, a very pretty black bar silver dollar, but I don't know if I would spend $200 on a black bar silver dollar, considering that I could buy a group of wide bars or thin bars for the price of one blackberry silver dollar. And then on top is just a regular red hook silver dollar, Myleus rubberapinus. And I've already done a species profile on the red hook silver dollar, another favorite Myleus species of mine. All right, let's get to our next facts on this beautiful fish. Did you know the wide bar silver dollar is one of the largest growing Myleus species, reaching about 14 to 16 inches, in the aquarium hobby. But that does depend on a number of circumstances. What size aquarium are they in? What's their water conditions like? What's their diet like? But generally, you can expect a wide bar silver dollar to grow to be about 12 to 16 inches, a very large silver dollar pacu fish. Now, what I like about the wide bar silver dollars is that males from Colombia, Brazil, and Venezuela can get orange bellies and cheeks that resemble red belly pacu and manueli piranha. And if you don't believe me, just do a research on manueli piranha and also look up wide bar silver dollar and you'll see what I'm talking about. Did you know the wide bar silver dollar has different locale variants? The Peruvian, Colombian, and Brazilian variants have somewhat different looks. The most prettiest of the wide bar silver dollars, like I said, are from Colombia, Brazil, and Venezuela. The Peruvian wide bars can get like taint or faint red spots and a faint orange belly, but the Colombian and Brazilian males, they have stunning coloration with red spots and orange bellies. Some Peruvian silver wide bars will develop red spots as well, but I tend to find that a lot of the Peruvian wide bars are just bland looking until they get size on them. Even the juveniles from Colombia and Brazil and Venezuela look good. So there may be a reason why you notice some stores charge a lot more for their wide bars than others. The wide bars that are on the cheaper end are most likely from Peru, and they just have like the black bar and the blue hook, and that's it. And that's why you'll see them go for about $20 to $30. But if you're seeing wide bars in the $50 to $75 range, it's because they already have that awesome coloration that fish keepers love about this silver dollar. Did you know this species of Myleus Schomburgkii was introduced into the aquarium hobby in the United States of America at around 2010? I had already known about the black bar silver dollar when I was keeping aquariums and fish, but I did not come across the wide bar until 2010, and my interest peaked when I saw them. So right now I'm going to talk about why I like the wide bar silver dollar and how I first came across it. We'll start by talking about how I first came across the wide bar silver dollar. And this is circa 2010. So back then I was a member on many different fish keeping forums. And yes, forums are still around, but Facebook and social media seems to be more popular than the forums nowadays. But back in the day, I was a member of Monster Fish Keepers, Pangolia Aquatics, Aquatic Terrors, waterwolves.com, and many other fish forums. And it was on one of the forums that I saw a picture of a very large silver dollar. It had an emperor blue hook, a very thick black bar, and an orange belly. And that picture intrigued me. I had to find out exactly what species that was. So I posted in that thread saying, this is a very gorgeous fish. I want to find out more about this fish. Can you send me the scientific name and some information? So the person responded and he told me that it was a wide bar silver dollar. And if I was to Google it, I should use the name Emperor Blue Hook. And I did. I Googled Emperor Blue Hook, and that's where I found out about the wide bar silver dollar. And there was a species profile covering them. And when I saw that they get 12 inches or so, I was like, wow, perfect size. I could put them in my large aquarium that had large growing fish. So I learned about them. I researched them, similar to how I was fascinated with flagtail procelotus when I first found out about them. I did the same thing with the wide bars. I studied them, and then eventually I turned to looking to find them. And it took a couple of months for me to find them, but I went on to tangledupincichlids.com, and at the time it was run by Jeff Rapps, and Jeff Rapps is a legend in the aquarium hobby. And at the time I was like maybe 16, 17 years old. I was not working, so I did not have a whole lot of money, but I was able to afford purchasing one and having it shipped to me. And I did. I purchased my first wide bar from Jeff Rapps. I got it. I raised it into a magnificent showpiece. And that's where my love of wide bar silver dollars began. So now we're going to talk about why I personally like the wide bar silver dollar. It's because it's the next best thing that we can have in the aquarium hobby besides a pacu. Obviously, pacus can get 3 feet long. So even if you have a 200-gallon aquarium, it's still going to be too big. So that's where the Myleus Schomburgkii comes in, the wide bar variant. Um, a fish that grows to a foot to 14 inches is more manageable, and you can probably house them in a 6-foot aquarium for quite a while. So what I like about the wide bar silver dollar is not only the size, but also the coloration factor and the personality, because the wide bar silver dollar, unlike many other species, does not favor a herbivorous diet. They're more on the omnivorous side. So they'll benefit from pellets, shrimp, tilapia, etc. And that's what I like about them. They're more like a piranha to me than a silver dollar. So that's why I like the wide bar silver dollar. Shout out to my good friend, Josh Rodriguez, who is tuning into today's show. Hey, Josh, how are you, man? Awesome to see you on my live stream. And I can't wait to interview you on my 8-year YouTube anniversary a week from Sunday. That's going to be awesome. And I want to remind all of my subscribers to check out the Amazing Diver Man YouTube channel. Josh has a phenomenal thing going on with the Diver Man. And he talks about saving oceans, getting all the plastics out of the ocean, and even some aquarium hobby stuff. So check out the Amazing Diver Man on YouTube. I think it's a great thing he has going on, and I'm happy to support it. And I encourage all my fish keepers to tune into my 8-year YouTube anniversary, because I interview Josh and he talks about the Diver Man on our interview that's going to kick off the 8-year YouTube anniversary. So that's going to be awesome. All right, so that is why I personally like the wide bar silver dollar, is its personality, its color. It's more of a meat-eating Myleus silver dollar, somewhat like the red hook, but the red hook still needs a herbivorous food as well. But the red hook is another favorite of mine. Okay, so let's talk about keeping this fish in the aquarium hobby. And it's time for our wide bar silver dollar care guide. And this is a name that I can pronounce without looking like a complete idiot, but I know how to pronounce this one. Scientific name is Myleus Schomburgkii, also known as the black bar. But like I said earlier, there are 3 different variants of the black bar. So one local fish store or another could be selling black bars, and you go in there hoping that they're wide bars, but they're not. They could be the thin bars that grow to 8 inches. But generally, all the black bars are relatively the same, with the exception that the wide bar is a little bit more aggressive. And we'll talk about that in a few minutes. So common names for this fish would be wide bar silver dollar, emperor blue hook silver dollar, and the emperor blue hook and the blue hook were names that were given to this fish by Asia, because when this fish was first imported into the into the aquarium hobby, they were imported into Asia. And it seems that all the good fish, when they first come to the aquarium hobby, they come from Asia. And then eventually South America began importing them into the United States. You'll also see them under the name thick bar silver dollar and black ear pacu. So those are the common names for the wide bar silver dollar. Their natural habitat. These guys come from the Amazon River Basin. You'll find them in Venezuela, Colombia, Peru, and Brazil. A very gorgeous fish. And they're like many other Myleus species, like the red hooks. They're found all over the Amazon River and South America, but a majority of them are confined to Venezuela, Peru, especially Rio Nene, Colombia, and Brazil. I did make one mistake earlier. There is one particular area of Peru where the wide bars will have orange, and that is the Rio Nene area. That also includes those beautiful wild-caught scalar angelfish that come in from time to time. So this is a large silver dollar. It's really not like a Mentinus. It's more like a pacu because it gets kind of big. The full-grown size of a wide bar silver dollar is up to 14 inches. I personally have not seen them above 14. I know that Ohio Fish Rescue had a couple of 15 inchers years ago, but you have to understand Ohio Fish Rescue, they have several thousand-gallon aquariums, and they can raise fish that get large. Um, Not every hobbyist is going to have 1,000-gallon aquariums accessible. So that's why I'd say that it's probably um, common to expect them to top out around 12, 13 inches. And I probably would say that them exceeding 14 inches would be kind of rare in the aquarium hobby unless they're kept in a pool pond or a large aquarium above 300 gallons. Having said that, they do grow to be about 12 to 14 inches, so keep that in mind when you buy them. And they do enjoy the company of other wide bar silver dollars. However, like all Myleus species, you can mix and match. You can have wide bars with thin bars, wide bars with red hooks, etc. So now that we know they grow anywhere from 12 to 14 inches, let's talk about recommended aquarium size. 6-foot aquariums and larger are ideal for this fish. So I will say 125 gallons and upwards. Obviously, work your way up. The bigger, the better for this fish. It is a schooling fish and it is a somewhat active fish. So keep that in mind. You want to keep at least 2 or 3 of them and in a large aquarium so that it can benefit from having all the swimming space that it wants and needs. Okay, so let's talk about aquarium care. This is a very hardy fish, so it's easy to keep in home aquariums. Basically, everything in the Serrasalmide family, like piranhas, pacus, and silver dollars, they're all easy to keep, with the exception of a couple of species, like the manueli piranha or the sheephead pacu. Those can be somewhat delicate, but the wide bar silver dollar is definitely not delicate, and it is far from delicate. All you really need for the wide bar silver dollar is a large aquarium, 6 feet and larger. And substrate really doesn't matter with this fish. You could use black sand, you could use white sand or gravel, or you can even do a bare bottom aquarium like I do. I use a bare bottom aquarium on my main display because it's easier for me to scoop out the waste and keep the water looking good. But I have found with black sand and black gravel, it does tend to bring out some more of that awesome coloration. So that's one thing to keep in mind. As far as decorations, this is an active fish. So I do recommend keeping decorations to the minimum, but you should have some plastic plants in the aquarium, floating plants, and some that are at the bottom of the aquarium so that the wide bar silver dollar doesn't freak out when it gets nervous. Like most pacus and silver dollars, they get really jumpy and flighty when they get nervous, and they could easily damage their nose when they fly into the glass, which is why I recommend to have some floating plants at the top that will stop them from at least having bursts of speed where they fly into the glass and damage their nose. However, I have not had that problem in my aquarium, and that is because I have floating plants, I have plastic plants at the bottom, and I have safety in numbers. And when I'm talking about safety in numbers, I'm talking about having a large school of them. And like I said earlier, it doesn't have to be the same species. I've got a school of 4 wide bars. I've got like 5 red hooks, and then I've got 2 of the silver hard belly pacu, which are the Myleus. So that's a lot of silver dollars, and they feel a lot safer in a school. So if you want to keep these guys happy, have them in a school, and you can mix and match the different species. Other than that, they're really easy to keep. Just provide them superb water conditions, which means that we're doing water changes. We have the perfect filtration, and we're keeping an eye on pH, ammonia, and things like that. And the Amazon, the pH is generally anywhere from 6.2 to 7.4. So anywhere around there is fine. They can be acclimated to higher pHs as well because they are extremely hardy. But all the wide bars that do come in from the aquarium hobby, all of them are wild caught. This is one fish that has yet to be captive raised or tank bred. And I think that's a good thing because I don't think the captive raised or tank bred would be as beautiful as the natural occurring specimens that are collected from the wild. So, but yes, all the wide bars that come in are wild caught, unlike the thin bars. The thin bars have been in the aquarium hobby for so many years that 90% of them are coming in tank raised from fish farms all around my area. As a matter of fact, there's a fish farm like 2 or 3 hours from me, and he has captive bred thin bar silver dollars. He offered me a package of 20 of them for like $100, and they were an inch and a half. And I'm really thinking about picking up them and growing them out in a 55 and then selling off some of the ones that I don't want to keep. And then I'll add some of them to my 125 when they get too big. I think that would be pretty cool. So that's the care for the wide bar silver dollar. And of course, if you have questions regarding their care, I'll be happy to answer them. All right, let's talk about their diet. Like I said earlier, the wide bar silver dollar is one of the Myleus species that tends to have a more omnivorous diet. So they prefer a more meaty diet. Having said that, though, they will also eat herbivorous foods. My 4 wide bars get live earthworms, market shrimp, tilapia, Hikari cichlid gold, Hikari massivar delight that I feed to my black wolffish and my gold wolffish. They'll eat just about anything that hits the water. So they're in the cerasomide family, and they're just like piranhas. If there's any movement in the water and they think it's food, they're going to attack it. So they'll pretty much eat anything you offer them. But because they're omnivorous, I also provide them herbivorous food. I have some algae wafers that a friend makes for me. He sells fish food, and his website is yourfishstuff.com. And he has homemade fish foods. He makes a variety of food for my herbivorous food for my royal pleco, my common pleco, and my semiprocelotus. That includes kelp, I think spirulina. What's the other one? And nori. Those are 3 herbivorous foods that are great for fish. And the silver dollars would greatly benefit from that. So having said that, you can give them a varied diet of pellets, flakes, and then raw seafood, earthworms, bloodworms, krill, and krill would bring out that deep orange coloration that we all love in this fish. So that's very, very Important to know, if you want deep orange coloration of your wide bar, then you should feed them krill, because krill will bring out their best coloration. And the last information I have on this fish is take mates. Real simple. These guys can live with anything that is too big to be eaten, just like any other silver dollars. I would not put these in with neon tetras or anything small enough to fit in their mouth, because they will pick them off. But anything that is similar size and larger is great. So these would be great in a freshwater stingray display aquarium. Not only will they add that silver gold coloration, but they'll have the blue hook and the black bar and some orange that will flash around the aquarium. They go great with arowanas, datnoids, peacock bass. They're great with my black wolfish and my gold wolfish. My wolfish, I'm very fortunate, are very docile and they don't bother anybody. But if you have like a semi-aggressive wolfish, I think they'd be too fast for the wolfish to catch. And they're very really hardy. So if the wolfish was able to fin nip them, their fins would grow back. Um, Other silver dollars go great with them. You can put them with the red hooks, the other black bar variants, Mylosoma, Mentinus. Although most of the Mentinus species are made for smaller aquariums, like the Mentinus spotted. The regular Mentinus argentis only grows to 8 inches, but they would do well with the black bar, wide bar, silver dollar. So basically, anything that is too large to be eaten is great with the wide bar silver dollar. All right, so I think I talked about everything there is to know about keeping this gorgeous fish. Right now, I'm going to take some time to show off some photos and videos that were sent to me by fish keepers who own this fish, or by fish stores that are trying to sell some of these wide bars that they have in stock. So I promised I would show off the pictures and the videos, and then when we come back, I'll have my final remarks on the wide bar silver dollar. Before we get to the pictures and images and videos, I do have a question from my buddy Steve's Aquatics. And Steve wants to know, do you have any plans to add a stingray to your aquarium? Not at the moment, because stingrays are extremely illegal here in Florida, and it would be extremely hard for me to get a stingray here. I probably would have to drive to a state where they're legal and purchase it there and drive all the way back. I would not be able to go on an airplane or anything like that, because Fish and Wildlife would probably inspect the box and things like that. Whereas the wolffish, it's very easy to get them into Florida, because they look just like at least the black wolffish looks just like a marble goby. So someone that's not trained on aquarium fish will not know the difference. So that's how I was able to get the black wolffish and my gold wolffish. But a stingray, absolutely 100%, is impossible to bring into a state where they're illegal. Not only are people trained to spot them, but they get euthanized if anyone brings them in, and I would face a $100 fine or more. Same thing as piranhas, with the exception of silver dollars and pacus. I believe they're trained to know which one is a pacu and a silver dollar and which one is a piranha. So it's a shame that I live in Florida and we can't have stingrays. There is one stingray that people sell that is totally legal, but it's inhumane to have them in an aquarium, because it is not full freshwater, and it gets large and it urinates in your aquarium, which basically is going to clog your filtration and make your water a mess. I forgot the name of that stingray, but it does come around from time to time, and I do see them. I think it's the Atlantic stingray or something like that. But definitely I would never get one of them. The black diamond, I think they're called the Leopoldites. Yes, they're very nice stingrays. The black diamond rays, gorgeous, gorgeous fish. My personal favorite stingray from South America is the Matoro. Those are beautiful, and they're one of my favorites. So the wide bar silver dollar would look great in a tank full of stingrays. So great question there, Steve's Aquatics. And now let's get on to the photos and videos of the wide bars. So here is a picture of a wide bar silver dollar in the adult stage. This one is about 11 inches. So as you can see, as they mature, they do end up looking a lot like a large pacu, but better. They have more coloration than a pacu. This is a school of wide bars that are for sale. And as you can see, they're just starting to get that orange coloration that I think is absolutely gorgeous. Here's another awesome looking wide bar silver dollar. Absolutely beautiful. You can't ask much more for a silver dollar. And last but not least, some more awesome looking wide bars with that phenomenal orange coloration. Very, very beautiful. All right, so I've got a video that I'm going to play, and then we'll wrap up this fantastic episode of Aqua Alex Live. I had a blast talking about wide bar, my favorite fish. Very, very gorgeous. I cannot wait until my 4 wide bars get that big and start displaying that awesome coloration. Very, very beautiful. So my friend Steve says, do wide bars sometimes interbreed with pacu? No, it's not possible for a wide bar to interbreed with a pacu simply because a wide bar belongs to the Myleus, and the pacus belong to a whole different species. So I don't think it's possible that they interbreed, but they could interbreed with other Myleus. In fact, there is a species of black bar out there that is called the blackberry silver dollar, and that is a mixture of maybe a red hook and a thin bar silver dollar. So they do inbreed, but not with pacus. It would have to be with either Myleus or Mentinus for it to happen. I don't think that Myleus and the pacus, like the red belly pacu and the Schomburgkii, I don't think they have the same DNA that would require interbreeding. And if they did perhaps lay eggs, I think it would be infertile, and I think that it would never hatch. But I'm not a biologist, so my answer could be 100% wrong. But I think from my experience, it's not possible for them to interbreed with pacu. As a matter of fact, pacus have never been bred in the home aquarium, only on farms, and that's because they're given like something in their food that gets them to sexual maturity quicker, and they end up breeding and laying eggs. And then the fish farm, what do you call that? Raises those eggs, and then they either raise them for food or for the aquarium hobby. So that is why there's a lot of pacus that are captive raised now, so that you don't have to take them from the wild anymore. So that was a great question. I appreciate that amazing question. All right, it's time for my final remarks on the wide bar silver dollar. This is one of the largest growing silver dollars. So if you happen to have a large tank with stingrays or other large predatory fish like arowanas and datnoids, then you should consider adding some wide bars. Not only are they going to add some activity to your tank, they're going to add some gold, silver, black, blue, and orange, which is going to look amazing. Silver dollars are generally peaceful, but wide bars are the most aggressive of the Myleus family, but only to other Myleus and other fish that have similar coloration. So keep that in mind. They get big, and they're probably going to be the most expensive silver dollars you buy, other than the blackberry or maybe the Myleus McCanns or the Myleus turquettes or any of the other rare red hooks out there. So generally for a juvenile wide bar, you're looking at about $20 to $40, 5 inches and above, 75 to 200, depending on how beautiful it is. I do recommend getting the wide bar. If you see them in your local fish store and you have the aquarium space, jump on it. I think you're going to enjoy the wide bar silver dollar. It's a very beautiful fish, as you've seen in today's video with my 4 and some of the past that I had. Very, very outstanding fish. I'm not going to rehome mine. I'm going to raise my 4 until adulthood, as well as my red hooks. And I think they're going to be an awesome sight to see in my 6-foot aquarium. Very, very cool. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Aqua Alex Live and this week's species profile. Next Thursday, we're going to go back to catfish, and I'm going to talk about another monster catfish. It is known as the ripsaw catfish from South America, and it is the Oxydorus niger. We'll talk about the black ripsaw cat, rumored to grow to 3 feet next week, next Thursday night, here on Aqua Alex Live. And I can't wait for that. But after that, I'll be talking about a species of your choice. What species do you want me to cover? Post it in the comments, and I will cover that on the next species profile in 2 weeks on Thursday. I'm going to try to make Thursday nights my Aqua Alex Live species profile. Okay? And this Sunday, I have a special episode of Aqua Alex Live. Just 1 week before my 8-year YouTube anniversary, I'm going to tell you 10 things you should do before purchasing fish at a local fish store. And I think you're going to enjoy that. All right. Steve says, are there any plans for you to get a job in a tropical fish store now that you're out of work? Absolutely. I have actually contacted a couple of fish stores that are in my area, and I'm waiting to hear back from them. One of them did say they were hiring someone for aquarium maintenance, and I think that would be better for me. I think I would enjoy going in, checking the water parameters, and doing water changes and then going home. I don't think I would want to deal with bagging up fish for people and dealing with the customers because at least in my experience, at least in the restaurant industry, people tend to be jerks. When it's busy and they don't want to wait, their attitude changes and they start treating employees like dogs. And there were times where I had to bite my tongue because I would want to like go off on that person, but you can't. But I don't know if fish keepers are like that in a fish store. So I would be willing to try it out as a customer service clerk as well and chat fish with people. But generally, my years in the customer service business, especially during COVID, people would freak out. I worked at Publix, and they would freak out if I wasn't wearing a mask, and they treated me like crap. But we shall see. But yes, I do have plans to work in the fish store business or industry. I just got to figure out which one is hiring, and then I can show them my Aqua Alex Live series, and I should be hired on the spot because I am an asset. That's right. Steve says you would be an asset for them, and that is very true because I know more than I say. I know more than I show. A lot of people, when they see some of my aquariums, like for example, my 75, when it was cloudy, they thought I was a a beginning fish keeper, but in reality, I know more than I speak, and I know a lot about tropical fish. So it's going to be a fun time. So that was a great question, Steve. And before I go, I want to answer a question from June, a little bit off topic, but that's fine. We're at the end of the show. June says, "What do you recommend from Texas Roadhouse?" I recommend staying away from there and going somewhere else like like Outback Steakhouse. Just kidding. Even though I have some bad feelings towards them and a sour taste in my mouth from being an employee there, um, as a guest, they do have some good food. For example, the cactus blossom, which is basically a fried onion, is a great entree or a great appetizer. And for entrees, I would recommend the ribeye steak. The problem at Texas Roadhouse, though, most of their cooks don't know how to cook anything past or anything medium rare. Everything is usually medium well or well done there. So there were times where I would want to jump in the back and show them how to do a medium rare steak because I felt the customer's pain when they would order a medium rare steak and they would cut into it and it was like really light pink and that would be more like medium well. And especially with a ribeye, you don't want to go past medium rare because then you're going to be like trying to cut shoe leather. And the same thing can be said with prime rib. But yes, I'd recommend a medium rare ribeye. Also, the fried sirloin and fried chicken is pretty good. What else? The beef tips are pretty good, and the prime rib is pretty good. So that is what I would recommend from Roadhouse. Also, the loaded fries and the baked potatoes. So that was a great question, and I really appreciate you taking the time to ask that question. I love having a live audience. You guys are awesome. It's been a long time since I've had a live audience, it feels like. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Do more videos on your new 125 gallon. I love it. Absolutely. I got to figure out a way where I can broadcast in front of it. The problem is that I have it in a tight space, so I would not be able to like broadcast right in front of it. It would have to be like in the corner, or I'd have to squeeze near it. But we'll figure out something. I always figure out stuff when I want to do something. I'll do it. So definitely on Sunday night on my next episode of Aqua Alex Live, I do have plans of broadcasting in front of my 125 gallon aquarium. All right, guys, this was a blast. Thank you so much. I hope you learned a lot about the wide bar silver dollar. I'm going to leave you with, if you see wide bars in your area and you have a large aquarium, do yourselves a favor and purchase them. If you are a new subscriber, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, the legendary Alex Cardinale. I've got amazing fish keeping videos as well as celebratory videos that are coming out. Thank you guys very much for watching and subscribe to my YouTube channel and enjoy the aquarium hobby, everybody. Thank you for watching. Legendary Alex Cardinale inviting you to a legendary celebration party that is taking place 1 week from this Sunday on Sunday, March 6, 2022 at a special start time of 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. 1 week from Sunday, I am going to celebrate my 8th year as a YouTuber. I started this YouTube channel on March 6, 2014, and on March 6, 2022, I am going to celebrate my 8-year YouTube anniversary. I am inviting you all to be a part of the celebration. And the celebration is only going to air exclusively on my YouTube channel, the legendary Alex Cardinale. You're not going to want to miss this celebration. It's going to be my biggest video ever and my biggest celebration of 2022. For the first time in my podcasting career and my YouTube career, I have a WWE superstar coming on my celebration. He's not only a superstar, but he's a WWE Hall of Famer, and he's a hardcore legend. That's right. There's going to be an appearance by WWE Hall of Famer and hardcore legend Mick Foley. He will be live in person on my 8-year YouTube anniversary. I've only got one thing to say about that, and that is bang, 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 bang. There are going to be some special guests on the 8-year YouTube anniversary. My good friend from Western Massachusetts, Blue View Aquatics, owner Josh Rodriguez, will be my first special guest. Josh runs an aquarium maintenance company in Western Mass, and this will be his first video podcast appearance and his first appearance on my YouTube channel. Then I've got Pro Wrestling Museum owner and WWE fan Mike Parker coming on the show. And I got two special surprise guests. Who will the surprise guest be? You're going to have to tune in to find out. There's going to be appearances by Chef Alex Cardinale. Chef Alex will bake a Twix cheesecake and a Reese's peanut butter cake. There will be an appearance by Aqua Alex Cardinale. Aqua Alex will discuss the fish species that he's kept over the last 8 years and the fish species he does not want to keep anymore. Aqua Alex will show off his new 125-gallon aquarium and more. WWE fanboy Alex Cardinale will discuss his dream WrestleMania 38 card, and Detective Alex Cardinale will break down a very horrific crime that shocked America. There are going to be plenty of surprises. So you could say that there's going to be surprises galore. What will be some of the surprises? You'll have to tune in to find out. The 8-year YouTube anniversary is going to be the biggest video of 2022, and you're not going to want to miss it. It is live 1 week from this Sunday. It is live on Sunday, March 6th, 2022 at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. And it's only on my YouTube channel, the legendary Alex Cardinale. Be sure to tune in. Live only on YouTube and my YouTube channel, the legendary Alex Cardinale. Which two of my 16,000 subscribers will win an $80 Texas Roadhouse gift card? Find out at the beginning of the 8-year YouTube anniversary, a week from Sunday, March 6th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Stay legendary, everybody.